All right, now it's time to talk some Dallas Cowboys football, and helping us do that is Lina Washington, who's out in Oxnard, California. Now, Lina, we've seen the footage of all the brawls going on all across the league, really. And of course, the Cowboys no exception, getting into it with the St. Louis Rams. What's been the reaction like around camp about these fights?
Well, Stacey, head coach Jason Garrett echoed what I'm sure other coaches around the league are thinking, are saying after all the fights that have already broken out during this training camp season. It's that nobody wants to fight. No coach certainly wants their player in a fight, especially when you have guys battling injury, coming off surgery. Garrett said that it's something that maybe the league should discuss in terms of how to address these situations. But the focus has now shifted to Sunday's preseason game number 2 in Santa Clara against the 49ers.
Well, and you touched on it there, talking about the injuries, of course. No shortage there for the Cowboys. Some nicks and bruises here along the way. How do these fights kind of affect that, and is it a cause for concern as far as the injuries go?
Well, thankfully, nobody was injured during that fight. However, on Tuesday's practice, Zach Martin, Cowboys guard, was injured during helmet-to-helmet contact with a Rams defender. He suffered a stinger, but he is expected to miss about a week. He was here during the early morning walkthrough. He says he feels fine. He's not generally concerned with the overall health of the team. As you mentioned, some bumps and bruises, obviously sustained during training camp. They're just trying to make sure these guys are healthy when it comes time that the games really matter. Come September 13th when the Cowboys open their regular season.
Well, and speaking of that, of course, a lot of eyes on Des Bryant and his status. What can you tell us about the latest on him?
Well, he is recovering from that strained hamstring. Jason Garrett said that they're not pushing him too hard. He is expected to practice sometime over the next 2 days. He did not say specifically to what extent he'll be practicing, but he has been out on the side going through drills, catching balls, making a few runs during the walkthrough. But as he's echoed throughout all of training camp, with McFadden's hamstring injury, with Dez's hamstring injury, they're not trying to rush these players back to practice during training camp because they want them healthy and active for the full 16 weeks and then some of the season.
Yeah, well, definitely a smart move there on the coaching staff. Well, that's Lina Washington. Lina, thanks again for the time. Yeah, so, I mean, good call, of course. You got to ease him back into it. I can't blame him there, especially when there's brawls going on and you have more chance to get injured.
Yeah, I know. That's like, it's good. Like you mentioned before the break, you know, boys will be boys during this time, but at some point you got to tone it down and get ready for the football season.
Just put your ego aside. Just do it. Just try it. It'll be fine, and then it's better in the long run. Gosh, I mean, take a note from us women. We're just so smart, and we just think ahead.
Okay,
we do that.
Okay, all right. Enough of that. All right.
See, Rachel's agreeing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, she knows.
All right, appreciate it, Stacey. All right, coming up on your KLBK News, Matt.